May 1942, North Carolina. It was a muggy summer dawn. The hot, wet dew laid on the nape of my neck as I was stooped over cropping the fullest leaves off the flourishing sweet bushes. The neighbor's rooster had just finished cooing as if he would wake up the clouds above. Grandpa had just gone out of town to deliver the most recent cured crop. Lucille, Estelle, Earl, and I were with Grandma picking the tobacco, tomatoes, watermelons, and beans that were ready for today's harvest. In order to get the day's work done, especially in the sultry summer season, when it was hot and rainy in the afternoons, we had to start in the field at the crack of dawn. My morning duties consisted of pitching hay up to the barn, but today Grandma let me start in the field, while my brother Earl did the hay stacking. However, this day in May was a particularly weird day. A heavy melancholy hung over us as we worked, for it was my mother's birthday. She died 10 years prior when I was 2 from birthing stillborn twins, only 32, and God stole her from me. If Grandma caught us goofing off, she would pick a switch and whip our calves, stinging like a hornet and drawing blood. Sometimes Grandpa would be out at market all day, coming home by kerosene just in time for supper after a day of weekend work. This aggravated Grandma, so she was extra hard on us these days. Yet my mother's parents took us in and raised us as if we were their own kids. Even in her most stern moment, my grandmother was my rock. Us kids by about 8 in the morning would head to school after getting up at 5 to work. We would get home just in time to eat. I would be so hungry when I got home, but Grandma and Grandpa made sure we always had something hot to eat for supper. Crammed into our 2-bedroom shotgun house, we survived, because we had each other. On our mother's birthday every year, Grandma and Grandpa and us kids traveled into town to lay wildflowers by her grave, and to say a prayer in her honor and memory. My mother was a blessing in my life, even though I only knew her for the first 2 years of my life. Her legacy lives on through me in the stories my siblings and grandparents told me about her life. When things get hard, I think of her and the love she had for me and my siblings. Her memory keeps me strong. Every day her light fills my heart. This story is in honor of my 86-year-old grandmother, who grew up as a poor sharecropper in southeastern North Carolina. Her stories were told to me when I was a child every time I went over to her house. Her story and our family's story lives on as my story, and I will continue to tell these stories for the rest of my life. This story was created in an integrated studies course at Florida Gulf Coast University.